Hey, Larken Rose here, and I know a lot of people get upset and angry when the lunacy of statism shows its ugly face, and weirdly I get happy and optimistic because when statism can appear to be legitimate and rational, people are less likely to question it. People are less likely to escape the cult of statism. So we just had the loony thing of Trump basically implying that people should be killed for suggesting that soldiers should have a conscience and not do evil crap in order to. And so same day just came out that Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning. I think it doesn't take effect till January something of next year. So a couple more months of being a pawn of the machine. And once again, what lots of people think is bad news, I see as good news. She was totally a statist. I think she meant well. It's hard to tell, but she was sort of enough of a loose cannon that despite the fact that she was a total authoritarian and kissed Trump's butt for a while, I think she's genuine as far as I can tell, given the fact that she says things that the ruling class doesn't like. She has lots of things they do like because she's a total statist in every way. But what I like about this isn't, we got her out of office, so now Trump can be raving maniac that he is. But it illustrates something. It helps illustrate something that I someday want to make a movie about called Making a Difference, which will be a comedy, sort of kind of mostly a comedy. Because as far as I could tell, Marjorie Taylor Greene just figured out, don't know why it took her so long, that you can't accomplish good things by being a puppet of the machine or a piece of the machine or a gear in the machine. And so the fact that she was that loyal to Trump, that's lots of points against her to begin with, but she was that loyal to Trump. She helped get him elected. She kissed his butt like a sycophantic moron for a long time. And then when things got too ridiculous around the Epstein thing and some other things, Trump immediately stabbed her in the back, like he does with absolutely anybody who disagrees with him on anything or thinks there should be any limits to what he can do or say at all in any way, shape, or form. That's what Trump has always been the whole time. He doesn't hide that. That's overtly been true about him since well before he was president the first time around. So the fact that she basically continued saying things that used to be the MAGA position, including, don't hide the Epstein evidence. What's that? And also, I don't like this and I don't like that. And then Trump, he didn't just say, well, we have disagreements. He called her names, he attacks her, he treats her like crap, and then he promises to try to get her out of office. We're going to primary her, which means run somebody against her in the Republican Party so that she's not even on the ballot next time around. And he did the same thing to Massey. And thankfully, even Republicans, as dumb as they were to support Trump, even a bunch of them were like, what, Massey? You're going after Massey? Like the closest thing to a consistent conservative, which he's not really consistent, not really conservative, not really pro-freedom. But compared to everybody else there, he looks really good, which, that's not saying much. But compared to almost everybody else in Congress, Massey is pro-freedom and pro-constitution. Not really, but compared to everybody else. And the fact that Trump had to come out and just vocally attack him and insult him and call him names and say, we have to destroy him. You got to do it. Promising to primary him too, so he can't. So just obviously in every way, shape, or form demonstrating that loyalty to Trump is the only standard he cares about. Even loyalty to the principles that Trump pretended to care about last week will get you lambasted and insulted and attacked and threatened and a few other things. If this week you say, hey, I'm not sure he's right about that, because Trump absolutely thinks like a megalomaniac wannabe dictator and doesn't hide that fact. And the reason this is good isn't because, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be out of power. Like, she has no power anyway. She has no ability to do anything. Trump doesn't even really have any power. He's a puppet of the machine. But the more people give up hope in a political solution, the better. Because the entire point of the whole game, the entire point of democracy and representative government, is to get the human livestock to imagine they have some say in the matter, so that they don't just disobey and revolt. No, we want them playing this stupid game, which will accomplish nothing for them, won't give them freedom, won't give them justice, but it will give them the illusion that they have some influence in this monstrosity they see day in and day out. And when people learn, no, you don't, like my hopefully one day movie called Making a Difference will demonstrate in a sometimes serious, sometimes flippant way, in which Marjorie Taylor Greene is basically saying, I can't do anything, I'm leaving. This is like, I don't fit in here anyway. I saw like a couple quotes. I already forget exactly what she said, but it was basically, I never fit in DC and people hate me, so screw this, I'm leaving. I can't do anything. I paraphrased a little bit, but that seems to be the general sentiment. And when people get to see something like that and see her as cheerleader for Stalin, and then Stalin, the moment you say, I'm not sure he's right about that, Stalin turns around and attacks you. Which is like literally exactly what Stalin did. Like all the people who supported him, the moment anyone had anything to say about it, he literally just knocked them off, disappear them here and there. And Marjorie Taylor Greene and everybody watching this just learned the hard way, oh, so this was never about anything he pretended to believe in. It was never about the campaign promises. It was never about lowering taxes or lowering spending or going after those Democrat criminals. It was never about any of that. It was about empowering this psychopath, and any trace of disloyalty to him and his power-happy agenda will result in you getting immediately, openly, publicly stabbed in the back. I think that's a good thing for people to be able to see this. Normally, the retaliation that has been there forever, it happens quietly and behind closed doors. Like and the Democratic Party does this just as much as the Republican Party does. Like if you're a Democrat and you run for office and I'm going to make a difference and blah, blah, blah. Hey, but the Democrats are pushing this. I'm not too sure about that. Oh, why did I just got kicked off of some committee? Wait, now I don't have support. They're not helping me with my campaign. They're running somebody against me. What happened? All I did was disagree. Yeah, all you did was not kiss the ass of the monstrosity political machine that you were supposed to be a mindless puppet for. And the moment you have a thought of your own, or even a trace of the thought of your own, you're getting stabbed in the back. It's true of the Democrats, it's true of the Republicans, it's true of anybody who gets in there. And the more people see that, the better. Like I said, it used to happen behind closed doors. And sometimes the person it happened to would come out and say, hey, this wasn't fair. I just said I don't agree with them on that. I agreed with them on like 90% of what they're trying to pass, but this I took issue with. And suddenly they took away all my influence and said they're not going to help me with this and not going to help me with that. And I'm thrown off this committee. And what the hell happened? But it's not so openly, ridiculously public because most of them are smarter than Trump. Trump is so colossally stupid that he'll stab his supporters in the back in a heartbeat, even if they've been loyal like the whole time and helped him get there, and then say, wait, but this one thing, even if they're saying something that obviously the people want, which Massey did and Marjorie Taylor Greene did to a much lesser degree, but still lots of people were on her side saying, yeah, this is a little bit bogus, and we think she's right about this. No, you got to stab her in the back. If she doesn't worship everything I do, I got to stab her in the back. I got to do it. I got to do it. And for people to be able to see that out in the open, first of all, it shows what a colossal moron Trump is. You're supposed to do those things quietly and in more undetectable ways. Oh, we thought this person had a better chance of running in this district because not just, I'm going to destroy you because you weren't blindly loyal to me when I'm being a warmongering psychopath. Like, it's helpful when the psychopaths are that open and blatant about their psychopathy, because then people can go, what? And so the best thing Marjorie Taylor Greene ever did was announce her resignation. And I don't know if she'll undo that. I don't know if she can undo that. It doesn't take effect till January. Is it she's going to resign in January, or she resigned but it doesn't take effect? Can she unresign? I don't know. Makes no difference, because the thing that's good about this is having a perfect example of somebody who absolutely kissed the butt of this emperor over and over again, helped get him there, and then had a little disagreement where she was obviously on the right side, just of that disagreement. She's a statist. She's on the wrong side of a million things. But on that, she was on the right side, just like Massey was on the right side in particular disagreements. And the fact that those are the things that got them stabbed in the back by Mango Mussolini has to make a ton of people, even the people who don't want to say it out loud because they don't want to admit what clueless dupes they were cheering for the moron to begin with, so they don't want to admit it out loud. But even a bunch of them have to look and go, wow, okay, so it had nothing to do with what he pretended to be about at all. It was about his power and his glory, and that's all. And anybody who comes out and says what Trump said last week is going to be banished and stabbed in the back and condemned and maligned and probably threatened and stuff if he changes his mind this week and you don't change your mind with him. That is sycophantic dictator worship right there. And there are still some people doing that, but there are a lot of there's a lot of people even in the system who are Republicans going, what? Wait, what? What's happening? This isn't okay. We sort of sold our souls a little bit to get him in power and did these creepy, unprincipled alliances, but now, holy smokes, he's gone bonkers. So it's some in the system, but it's a hell of a lot of Republican voters, and I love the fact that they're seeing this to the point that even a bunch of them have to say, okay, just no. At some point, when literally the people saying exactly what you were pretending to be for last year are getting vocally stabbed in the back by the guy who changed his mind, or he didn't change his mind. First of all, he doesn't have a mind. Second of all, he's always been a puppet. It was lies from the beginning. We're going to cut taxes. We're going to cut spending. No, you're not. No, you're not. We're against socialism. No, you're not. You're literally in the White House praising this socialist mayor of New York and kissing his ass. Anybody still want to pretend that Trump is against socialism? Anyone still want to pretend that Trump is against starting new wars? Like Venezuela isn't glaringly, obviously him trying to start a war. Do you not recognize that? So, yeah, so whenever the lunacy gets this obvious, a lot of people get upset and I get encouraged. Because the lunacy was there the whole time, the evil was there the whole time, the corruption was there the whole time, the backstabbing was there the whole time. Most people weren't seeing it. So the only thing that changed for like what Massey has been through and what Marjorie Taylor Greene is going through, the only thing that changed is more people are seeing them get stabbed in the back for having like a tiny shred of a principle for 5 seconds. And that is a very good thing, because when people can see the reality of the game, it's kind of like, oops, Mr. Smith had his secret meetings with Mr. Jones, but he had it in front of the slaves. Oops, well, you just blew the whole game then. Because you have to keep the conniving secret and put on a different show to the human livestock, so they fall for it. And Trump is too dumb to even understand that. So he's just overtly acting like a dictator and just attacking anyone who doesn't just sycophantically worship him, including a bunch of people that Republican voters were like, yeah, this part, Marjorie's telling us, saying some great things, and Massey's saying some great things, and well, now they're both getting stabbed in the back and insulted and called a loser and being condemned and being called traitors and all sorts of, it's like, what? So, good. So I encourage all of you, don't be more upset when the insanity comes out in the open. Be optimistic. The more it's in the open, the more people can see it, and the more they can say, this isn't okay, and maybe, like Marjorie Taylor Greene is learning the hard way, There isn't a political solution. There never was a political solution. There never will be a political solution. And the sooner people learn that, the sooner they'll stop falling for this crap and voting for lunatics left or right. And that is a good thing.